Hi, everybody. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm looking forward to guiding you through today's core and stretch class. As usual, we'll start off with some great stretches just to warm up the body, to feel a little bit more loose, comfortable, easy, flexible. And then once you're feeling a little bit more open, we'll get into the strength work. I encourage you to have some weights nearby for today's class. I'm going to use a variety of weights. Do. I'm gonna keep out something pretty heavy for one single arm move. So I'm gonna bring out the 15. And then for some of the other strength moves, being kinder to myself, having just the fives out. We've got 1 minute till we get started, and we'll get started from a kneeling position. Let's start off with a little um, salute to the sun. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. It's just one of them days, everybody. And we're just here to do our best. So I want to thank you for joining me today, checking on things on the interwebs right up here. That's the sounds in the kitchen of me not making it to drink coffee in time. Here is the timer. So we got 30 minutes together today. A lot of them are just going to be relaxing. And we've got a quick I guess it's about 8 minute strength circuit. In the strength circuit, we're going to be working the core. We're also going to get a little bit of shoulders, back, triceps, all that jazz. All right. So let's make our way down to the mat and get started. In kneeling position. We made it. We made it down towards the mat. All right, remember, there's no specific water breaks during today's class. However, if you find that you need to take a sip of water, you are welcome to. If you find that this initial kneeling position is really challenging for you as well, maybe you have a block nearby and simply placing a block between the legs can help to feel a little bit better. If it's more of a pressure thing, if you're feeling a lot of pressure behind the kneecaps, sliding a sock even, or taking the strap from a yoga strap and placing that directly behind the knee where it folds can help to provide a little bit of release. So let's just take 1 full minute here, just breathing before we're going to get into our little salutation. As you're starting to tune into your breath, I really encourage you to notice the quality of it. Where are you breathing? Typically, when we're stressed, we tend to really breathe a lot at the top of the chest, some more quick, shallow breaths. So slow your breath down. Notice your lungs, your rib cage, your belly, and diaphragm expanding on that inhale. And on the exhale, do your best to get all of that stale air out. Now I want you to bring a little attention to the shoulders and just notice how you're kneeling here. Typically, also when we're not feeling our best, there's a lot of rounding forward, puts a lot of pressure into the low back. So can you lift up that chest and stack your head over your heart and both of those on top of the hips and squeeze those shoulder blades together. So maybe elbows even draw back towards each other. Hands, palms might come closer to the hip crease. And while we're here, let's get a little bit of motion in our neck, a typical place where we feel tension. On your inhale, look up towards the ceiling. And if your neck is feeling so tight or so uncomfortable that you can't lift your eyes, nose, and chin, simply lift your eyes up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, tuck your chin down towards your chest or continue to just find that stretch through the ocular nerve. Still working to keep that upper body back engaged so shoulder blades are squeezing towards each other, looking up towards the ceiling. And exhale, tucking chin to your chest. Just a few more right here at the pace that works for you. If you are looking up towards the ceiling, I want you to really find that stretch in the front of your neck. So a little jut forward of the chin at the top. Let's get one more in each direction. And then come back to your stillness. Let's go ahead. Inhale our arms up overhead. Palms come together. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. So thumbs touching on your chest, sternum. But those shoulders are still rounded back, not forward. All right, we're going to come up off of our prop. So if kneeling again is a challenge, instead of sitting all the way down, you can always just hang out right here in kneeling. But otherwise, starting with those glutes on your heels and your hands, palms at your chest, we're going to inhale, lift ourselves up, press through the knees, push your hips forward, stretch your arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe even give yourself a little mini back bend right here. On your exhale, hands, palms come down to the floor, right around your dog. Press into your hands. Give yourself a little cat. Tuck your toes under. Send your hips up towards the ceiling. Belly comes closer towards thighs for down dog. Exhale. Come on back through to your cat. Then untuck your toes, send your glutes back towards your heels for a little extended child's pose. We're going to challenge the abs already. So press into those knees, bring your hands together, biceps stay close by the ears, lift on up into your extended mountain, and then exhale. Come on back down through to kneeling. I feel like I left something out there, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and begin again. So we're going to inhale, press ourselves up, squeeze the glutes, hips come forward, arms come up overhead. Exhale, we're going to come down through that extended child's pose. That's what we forgot. Inhale, pull yourself up into cat. So shifting shoulders forward, tuck toes under. Exhale, hips go up towards the ceiling. In down dog, inhale. Come on back through to your cat. Untuck your toes. Exhale. Glutes back to heels. Your extended child's pose. Inhale to extended mountain. So pick those hands up. Use your ab to find that lift. And then exhale. Sit it back down. We're going to go through it 3 more times. Inhale up. Extended mountain. Maybe even looking back, a little back bend. Exhale. Rain your fingers down towards the floor. Glutes come back towards your heels for your extended child's pose. Inhale up into cat. Tuck your toes under. Exhale up into down dog. Inhale back into your cat. Untuck your toes. Exhale, extended child's pose. Inhale into your extended mountain. Press up. Use those abs, biceps stay by ears. Look up, lift up, and exhale. Hands back down to your heart. Keep flowing. Inhale up. Exhale, extended child's pose. Inhale, gently pull yourself forward into your cat. Tuck your toes under. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, cat. Untuck toes. Exhale, extended child's pose. Inhale, up to your mountain. The pets are mutinizing y'all, but we're just going to keep going. Exhale, down to kneeling. We got one more time through, and we're worth it. Inhale, up into your extended mountain. Exhale, rain fingers down into your extended child's pose. Inhale, up to cat. Tuck toes under. Exhale, up to down dog. Inhale, back to cat. Untuck your toes. Exhale into your extended child's pose. Inhale back up to your mountain. Exhale down into kneeling. Let's stay here. Hands still at heart center. Elbows heavy down towards the floor. Shoulder blades squeezed together. Chest is still lifted. Keep that belly button back towards your spine. So there's some engagement of that abdominal core. Let's take 2 more slow breaths here. Awesome. Bring your hands back down towards the mat. Come on back through to tabletop. And just give yourself a couple cat-cows right here. Move as slowly as you need to today. Remember, especially as we get to the strength portion of class, that we're not trying to jam in as many reps as we can. We're going to continue moving with intention, with engagement. And you're going to make smart choices for yourself today, not just on the mat, but I know you can make smart choices for yourself off of the mat. So what is it that you are working on? Maybe you have a project for work that's challenging you. Let's look over one shoulder. Let's get into some oblique stretches. And then look over the other shoulder. Maybe today is the day you're going to rock out that work project. Really prioritize getting things done. I'm feeling confident about it. Maybe today is the day that you also are starting your C to 5K training with us. We got a quick little 6 weeks of training. I do believe that it is a stretch day, and this workout definitely counts for your stretch, or maybe you want a little bit more, and you'll check out our training schedule and you Fast Jump Fitness or our Facebook page. And follow along on our YouTube videos. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right into our strength portion for today so that we can finish up with some delightful stretches again at the end. We're going to start standing. And the first move has 2 weights. So you're probably going to want to use somewhat lighter weights for this one. Medium light, I'm going to say. All right, so I've got my 5 pounds. I'm not going too light, but we've got a big combo move to start out with. A lot of today's standing moves can be made more challenging depending on how much of a hinge that you take from the hips. So we're hinging from the hips to keep a nice flat back, not hinging from the waist so that there's any rounding in the back. All right, so the first move with that slight bend in your knee, hips behind you, flat back, is going to be palms facing up towards the ceiling, nice straight arms for a straight arm tricep extension. Then hands come back down towards the floor. You're going to give yourself a big fly. Ooh, mine was not that big because one of my shoulders is a little tight still. Then you're going to stand up, hips come forward, go for a front raise all the way up overhead. And then we've got a tricep extension here. If your weights are feeling a little heavy, you can bring your hands palms together and give yourself that tricep extension and then carefully move back through to this front raise into a Romanian deadlift, basically, into our forward hinge. And then we're going to, again, do the tricep extension, the fly, and then standing it up. So as the weights come up over your head, because you're driving your hips forward and standing up from that RDL, it should be pretty easy to get those arms nice and straight up overhead. But you're going to do your best. All right. Sorry, I see my head's a little bit cut off. That's okay. You know what's happening. All right, we've got 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds, 18 seconds of rest, 18 for life. And we're going to do each move 2 times, and then we're going to move on to something else. All right, so grab hold of your weights, find that standing position, keep that slight bend in your knees, hinge at the hips. They go behind you, starting with straight arms, tricep extension, palms facing up in 3, 2, 1. Begin. Awesome. So tricep extension, use that exhale. Exhale for that fly. Hips drive forward, arms come up overhead, palms can come together, triceps, and then hinge at the hips, Romanian deadlift, triceps, fly. Stand it on up, tricep extension. Ooh, keeping those hands separate. It's going to make that tricep extension a little bit harder. Come on, you got time for one more time through. If you're moving my same pace, I'm going to bring those hands together. So hands together also means that the dominant arm is probably taking over, and that's okay. All right, stand up, take a break. So again, we're not trying to move super fast. You're moving with intention. Take a second, just breathe. Make sure that your weights were slightly challenging, and if not, grab something else. We start again in 3, 2, take that hinge. Here we go. So triceps, you got your fly, stand up, arms come up overhead. Woo, triceps, one more time. Arms come down with control, still working that core the whole time, especially as your arms are coming down from that front raise. Halfway through. I hope you're enjoying this total body move. Starting off with the most complicated, challenging move. We're just going to move on from there. You got 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2. I'm just going to finish it out. We still got 15 seconds to rest. All right, next up, we're going to lay down on the floor. We've got a single arm glute bridge fly. So pressing up into your glute bridge, one arm is going to fly to the side, bring it back in, and then other arm starts. Go with me. You can have a slight bend in your elbow. Maybe you even decide to add in a little chest press. Ooh, and then fly, and then switch. So you might notice that one arm is a little bit weaker than the other. And that's what we're working to address right here. I know that currently my left shoulder is feeling so much better, but still feeling a little weaker than the right. You know what has helped a lot is I've started taking advantage of, take a break, the massage services that we have on campus. You can get a delightful 15-minute massage in McLean and move on with your day. And I know there's some great physical therapy to help you feel good in Bedford. Right, Uncle Buck? Ready to begin again? Press it on up, stay up in that glute bridge, find that fly to one side. So while you're flying from side to side with the arms, those hips are staying up nice and high. You're not wiggling and wobbling. The knees aren't coming out towards the side. Knees are in line with those hip bones as well. Upper back is pressed down into the mat. Ooh, glutes are starting to get a little bit tired right here. We're going to continue to work. Awesome, stand up. We're going to continue to work that back because the back core is so important. Happy spine, happy life. Next up, we're grabbing hold of our heaviest weight. Again, we're going to take a forward hinge, and from here, we're going to row it up high, hold it, and then drop to the other hand. Begin with me. So keep that elbow up nice and high. Hold for a second, then catch it with your other hand and switch. If you start to notice that your lower back is hurting at all in this one, take a moment and just stand up and then come on back to that forward hinge. The more that you are forward hinged, the higher that you're driving that elbow behind you, the more challenging this is going to be. So here on round one, we're just giving ourselves one row, elbow high, and then dropping, catching it with the other hand. That's making us really work that core so that we're not rotating through the core. Stand up. Round two, you're going to encourage yourself to do 2 rows. So 1 row, then 1 row and hold, drop, pass to the other side. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Find that hinge. Row, row, and hold. Really find that hold. That's where so much of the work is happening. Keeping that elbow driving high. We only have one more move after this. And then we're right back to just stretching. So just under 10 minutes of strength work today. Getting that strength in and getting those ab moves too. Remember, if your back starts to hurt at all, just take a second, stand up or decrease that hinge. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. We're going to make our way down towards the floor for our plank round. If you need to do this on your knees, you can, but I encourage you to come onto your toes as much as possible. Keeping those hips squared towards the floor, we're going to tap a shoulder. We're going to tap our hip, and then we're going to drive our knee. Let's get into that plank and begin. So tap a shoulder, tap a hip, and then opposite knee drives to your hand palm. Try not to rotate in your hips too much as you get all of these taps and the knee drives. Ooh. And if you need to, you can always be on your knees, either in tabletop or in this modified plank, and you can still drive that knee up even from your modified plank. Take a break. Come off your hands for these 18 seconds. Shake them out. We got one more time through. Ready? Set yourself up. Excuse me, Mr. Doggy. And begin. Having those feet separated a little bit wider, maybe mats width distance apart, can really help you find some balance in these planks. And remember, you're just doing your best. So maybe that means that you're just hanging out in the plank itself for a little bit longer. Last move, last move. Finish strong right here. You are so worth it. Oh, we made it. Release your knees down towards the floor. Send your glutes back towards your heels. Stretch out those shoulders in child's pose. Intentionally slow your breath down. Especially that exhale, making it a hair or even longer than your inhale. This is going to help to bring that heart rate back down. All right, let's pull ourselves all the way forward, either into Sphinx or into Seal. If it's too much for you to have these arms straight, you can always bring your forearms down towards the ground. Let's take another look over our shoulders, just like we did before. Looking over one shoulder, looking over the opposite shoulder. Great. Bring yourself back up to tabletop. Cat-cow it out. Let's stretch out those shoulders because I know they did some good work today. Just going to tuck my shirt in like a winner really fast. Great. So keep your right hand down on the floor. Inhale your left arm up towards the ceiling. Find that big open with your chest. And then exhale, bring your left shoulder down towards the mat. Left temple down towards the floor. You can get in a little extra stretch in your chest if you inhale your right hand up towards the ceiling, bringing those fingertips to your left hip and then trace up your back. Open that chicken wing, that elbow up towards the ceiling, and just feel a little bit more stretch through the chest, through the shoulders. Take 3 breaths here. On your next inhale, send that right arm back up towards the sky. Release it down underneath of your shoulder. Press into it. Lift yourself up. Left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. And then left arm down towards the mat. Let's switch. Push into that left hand palm. Inhale, right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring that right arm underneath of the body. Temple comes down towards the mat. If you're ready for a little extra inhale, left arm up. Bring your left hand fingertips towards your right hip and then trace them up your back. Elbow points up towards the ceiling. A little extra stretch in the front of the chest, in the back of the shoulder. We got 2 more super slow breaths here. On your next inhale, send your left arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release it down towards the floor, push into it. Right arm comes all the way up towards the sky, and then right hand comes down towards the floor. Walk yourself up towards the top of the mat. Extend those legs back behind you. Let's come into that plank form again. Really push into the hands, palms, feel the pads of the fingers down on the floor. You just got 5 more seconds right here, and we're going to turn it into a hip opener twist. So right foot stays where it is, left foot comes forward. Even if you have to take a couple steps to get that left foot forward, keep your right hand down towards the ground. Take a big twist right here. Stretch left hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale, left hand comes down towards the floor. Step your left leg back and bring that right leg forward. Even if you're mini stepping that right leg forward, however many steps it gets or takes, left hand stays on the floor, right arm comes into this big chest opener. Step your right leg back. We're going to get 2 more on each side. Left foot comes forward. Find this big twist. One more time. Right foot comes forward. Find this big twist. All right, the next time we come through, we're going to bring that back knee down towards the floor. So left foot comes forward. Bring your back knee down towards the floor. Lift your hand up and then reach your hand behind you. Can you bend your right toes and reach towards that foot? I can't quite grab it today. And that's okay. We're just reaching towards it. A little more opening up the chest, a little more engagement of that back leg quad. Release your toe back down towards the mat. Bring your left hand forward. Lift your right knee up. Send your left leg back. Right leg comes forward. Left knee down. Starting once again, just in our regular twist. Reach your left hand behind you. Sorry, right hand. Bend your left leg. I'll really apply a little pressure of that left knee towards the mat to feel that quad start to fire up. Reach towards those toes. Doesn't matter if you touch them. You're still going to get a little extra quad work. Left toes back down. Right hand comes up. Right hand comes to the floor. Tuck your toes under. Lift your left knee up. Send your right leg back to meet it. Hang out in this plank. Take one more big inhale. On your exhale, send your glutes up towards the ceiling, belly towards the thighs. Go ahead, pedal through your heels. Get a little stretch into your calves. And then work to press those heels down towards the floor, even deeper stretch. Take the time to walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. If you always walk your feet to your hands, let today be the day that you walk your hands to your feet. Come into this dangle. Great work. Let's heel toe our feet out wider than shoulder width, distance apart. Press into the outer edges of those feet. Keep your right hand down on the floor. Inhale, left arm up towards the ceiling, taking another quick little spine twist. Really reach up. Try and touch the ceiling. Do your best to stack one shoulder on top of the other. Exhale, left hand comes down to the floor. Inhale, right arm up towards the ceiling. Getting a nice stretch on those inner thighs here as well. Exhale, right hand down towards the floor. Take a generous bend of that right knee. Really exaggerate the stretch on the inner thigh with your lunge. Straighten your right leg. Take a bend of the left knee. So glutes gently go behind you or bump into your couch. Still pressing the outer edge of that pinky toe to the floor. Come back through to center. Let's challenge our core once more. We're going to lift our hands up off of the floor, but still keep this forward hinge, this nice flat back. So stretch your arms out towards the side, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and carefully, slowly inhale, lift yourself up. Step your feet together. One quick step. Arms come up overhead. Exhale, relax your arms down by your side. Take a moment here in your mountain. Great. I know we brought a lot of stress to the back and to the shoulders. So let's take one more stretch into those shoulders. Open your feet once again about hips width distance apart. And bend down into Malasana, into horse pose. So hands, palms on your knees. Drop one shoulder forward. Bring the other shoulder forward. We're going to take it a little bit deeper. In the squat, right hand comes towards the floor. Left arm stretches up towards the ceiling. And then switch. Left hand comes to the floor. Right arm stretches up towards the ceiling. One more time each side. Still in the squat. Right hand reaching all the way down towards the floor. Getting that big stretch into the hips and glutes as well. Left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Both hands down towards the floor. Straighten those legs. Heel toe your feet in closer towards each other. Make sure the hinge is at your hips. So take that rounding out of that mid or upper back. Belly relaxes towards the thighs a little bit more. If you need to take a bend in your knees, that's okay. Take a moment, shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. And then we're slowly going to roll ourselves up, one vertebrae at a time, pressing through those heels. Shoulders stacked on top of hips. Inhale, arms come all the way up overhead. Exhale, arms release down by our side. We got one more big breath together. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach all the way up. Take your time as you exhale those hands down. Maybe press out. Maybe rotate a little side to side. Find the stretch that works for you. And when your hands come all the way down, interlace them behind your back. Stretch those knuckles down towards the floor. If you can't bring your hands all the way together, I like to just bring the backs of my fingers towards the glutes and pull the elbows in towards each other. Carefully release, interlace your fingers in front of your chest, palms come forward. And this time, find that rounding in your upper back. One more time, inhale, arms up overhead. The last opportunity to stretch out through your fingers. Maybe bring those fingers as close together behind you as you can, squeezing shoulder blades together. Relax arms down by your side. Take a moment standing in your mountain pose. Feel free to close your eyes, chin neutral to the chest here. Fingertips stretching down to the floor. Last decompression of your shoulders. Great. I hope you feel amazing. So we just took a little bit of movement together. We challenged through the chest, the arms, the back, the shoulders, the abs. We hinged through the hips. We got some stretches in the legs. I think we had a great workout. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that I said or we did, you know that you can reach out. I can't wait to see you all again, either in person for tomorrow's spin class or virtually Friday for yin yoga. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, let me know. If you have any aches or pains, I want to hear about them because I want to write a class specifically for you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.